Hello and welcome. This is Pony here with Grogan Games, bringing you gameplay from Produciton Line. This is a game from Produciton Games. A modern car factory is a near-perfect example of efficiency, process management, and flow. A massive army of precision-controlled robots dance to a millimeter-perfect ballet of engineering excellence with perfect timing. Components snake along conveyor belts to a just-in-time ordering system leaves no pauses, no delay, no confusion or congestion. Nothing exists but the perfect flowing efficiency of high-tech automobile construction, in theory. So, this is one I picked up direct from the developers. Paid $9 or $10 for it quite some time ago. It's an alpha. I had a lot of fun with it, so this is going to be a first look. I've played it quite a bit, so I've got an idea of kind of how to do it, but this is going to be kind of a first look, get you started gameplay guide. So let's go ahead and jump in. New game. I'm going to do the medium factory. That starting cash of 1.7 mil is actually not that much. Alright, so you start out with your factory area. As you see, these tiny little windows that are right in front of you. Let's pause our game because it costs money. You're renting the space, so it costs money as you go. Alright, so the tiny little window imports resources. The big windows export your products. And importing products costs you money, so you've got to be very cautious and cognizant of that. So we're going to go ahead and go through what's in this build menu here, which is the slots in the top left. Resource conveyor carries resources from one place to another. Importers are used on these small windows to import resources. Big surprise. Conveyors move your car or your product from one point to another. Now, from chassis assemble down through export, this is the order in which you have to put your car together. Moving down from that, QA office is unlocked through research. Research office you do, of course, to do what? What? Research! Yes, that does research. Supply stockpiles we'll get into after a little bit, and demolish. I mean, seriously, guys, I shouldn't have to get in that much detail. But alright, so what I like to do is figure out, and I've played this a little bit, so I have an idea where I'm going to go. I'm actually going to export my car through one of these two gates up here. So I'm going to drop my export. Notice the arrows. If you notice the arrows on the conveyor track, those are actually important as well. Boom. I hope this is not deafening for you guys. Quality check. We're actually going to leave the quality check back a little bit, but centered up with that export line, because you know what? You never know. We may need to put another export line in there. God, that is deafening for me. I hope it's not so deafening for you guys. So now we're going to go from the front. R key. Swaps your stuff around. Spin, spin, spin. All right, yeah. Cool. You can back that up against the wall if you want. I kind of have a weird way of doing things. Long story short, I'm going to try to keep this as close to a straight line as possible with allowing room for expansion, which I'm sure if you've played Factorio or any of those other games, you'll understand efficiency is key, and I am very terrible at efficiency. So therefore, I'm not going to tell you guys anything you probably couldn't tell me. So we've dropped our chassis, we've dropped our body, now we're going to do paint. So if we have to expand, the reason we're doing it this way is I can just expand up and up and up and up and up and up and down, whatever we got to do. And fit engine. Each of these things have time. You'll see, yeah, there it is. Cost, of course, money. Time, 27 minutes to fit an engine. Power demand. If you don't have power generators like we don't, you're renting that power that you're using, that 0 of 4,044, you're actually renting that. Fit accessories, we're going to leave quite a bit more space because there's actually electronics. I put it in there even though we don't need it, and I will show you guys why I do it the way I do it here after a little bit. We're just dropping conveyors to link all of our stuff, so that way our first car can start getting produced. And we've got the absolute dirt basics. Now, you notice we're already down to $1,110,640 something dollars. So that stuff costs a lot of money. So we're going to import our resources from a lot of different places, and I will show you why we're doing this shortly. And this is to keep birds of a feather flying together. And basically, as we expand, you know, the body fitting, it's not trying to pull resources from other stuff into that. So, that being said, we are going to do a couple different resource importers. All right. Now, we've got to run conveyors. So, from importer, it needs to run into these red squares right here. So, we're actually going to have, let's see how we're going to do this. I'm actually going to take an importer. I'm going to spend a lot of money because these things are expensive, and I'm going to make sure that our chassis stuff comes from its own dedicated line. Now our body stuff is going to come from its own dedicated line, and I want it to go up, up, and then over. Perspective is a little tough. Paint, I'm just going to let you guys know, paint needs to be on its own line. Say it with me. Paint needs to be on its own line. 55,000 for that line. And then accessories and electronics, I generally start or have started in the past on their own line. Maybe branch them off later. But these are the basics. So our accessories and our electronics, at the beginning we're not going to have any electronics to fit, so it's not a big deal. Quality check has no resource requirements. But every time all these things are queued up that you see come through the production line, through the import, it's going to cost us money. So we've got to get started. Let's hit the play button and go. Insufficient resources. What it's telling us is, hey, we don't have stuff to do stuff and make things, so make it happen, Cap'n. I'm going to go ahead and crank it up on high speed. Now you see the little robots. Get to work. So the car chassis it builds will move to the body fitting. Now it is fitting the body on the car utilizing the resources you see off to the bottom left. We already have a chassis building up. With that being said, there's an efficiency check saying, hey, part of its time it waits for resources. And right now that's the best we can do. We've got two chassis stacked up. You can actually click on the car and tell you the car is worth $16,000 on its own. And this will be important later because the value of the car, based on, I think, time and manufacturing process at this point, I'm not for sure, have to do with the value of the car. Now, painting and engine ends up being the long pole in the tent for us a lot of times on this, but we can optimize this by breaking the process down into different multiple processes, and that exists for all of this. Chassis, body, paint, engine, accessories, and electronics. You can bust these down to individual processes, and this is also how you insert all the little parts and doodads you use to make your vehicle special. Now, this is early access, very early alpha, so keep in mind they don't have a lot put in. All right, so now our car is about to export. They are asking us what we're going to call it and how much it's going to cost. We're going to call this Alpha Prime. Screw it, why not? And we're going to bump that premium up 25% because guess what? People are going to pay it at the start and that will fall off at the end and we can adjust to it. It's really not a big deal. But let's start looking at some research. So to do research, you've got to buy the research office for $49,000, which why they did not pick $50,000 or some other psychologically satisfying number, I don't know. And oh my god, that is deafening to me. I hope it's not as deafening to you guys. That's pretty freaking terrible. Yeah, ow, my earballs. So we've got 4 research offices. That being said, if you look, research labs 4 points per minute, 0.5. So every minute in the game that goes by, we get half a point. Pretty simple stuff, right? So one of the things I like to go for first is the more robots upgrade. And the reason for that being, I'm going to do it anyway, whether you guys want me to or not, is for the fact that we start getting a buildup right here of chassis to bodies. So if we speed the fit body up, it brings the production time down from 31 minutes. And we get still, this becomes the long pole at 34. And now 27. So we got to start bringing these processes down to bring efficiency up for the export. Pretty simple, right? Well, we've also got to start researching a couple other, I guess you'd say, accessories, add-ons, and all that other good jazz for a car. So you can go into, let's see here. All right, so driver assistance will unlock power steering. Now, on the fit steering wheel substation, which is under, I believe, body specialization. Nope. Fit engine? Somewhere you fit a steering wheel onto this god blessed car. One of the first things I go for after the robots is accessories, because you can start doing the accessory specialization, bust accessories up, and start doing stupid little things like, what was it? Powered seats, powered steering. No, not power steering. In-car music is entertainment under electronics. But you can start specializing your cars, and different cars will cost different money, and that's kind of how that goes. So we've got on 3 times speed. We can check our finances clicking the $ up there and see that we are actually losing $32,000 every hour, or $276,000 every 24 hours right now, because we're not producing enough cars. So knee-jerk reaction at this point is to add more fit bodies so the bodies come out faster, and add more paint so they get through the paint faster. But really the key is to optimize the process. Trust me, I've done this enough, and I have screwed up enough and gotten fired enough that I found out that's just not the way to go about it. That being said, we're making a little bit of money. We're going to optimize this process as soon as this research is done, which is almost done. Alright, so we're going to choose our next research, and we're going to go to accessory specialization. We're going to research that. And the reason we research that is right before it hits this accessory pile here, we can split it off and specialize our accessories. So that way each car coming off the line has different accessories. And maybe at the end of this video, I'll cut into a factory that I have that's up and running and not at all efficient. I mean, it's pretty freaking terrible. I'm not going to lie. Cut into that and just kind of show you what I mean about the different spider webs of parts and features and all that. So we've got a backup on chassis here. We've got the fit body, so we're going to buy these extra robots. It's under, you click it, go to the upgrades, all right. So, and that brings the time down to 28 minutes, which is good, but we're going to start getting a backup on the paint, because we're going to put out bodies with a couple more minutes time to spare than we're painting them. So it's kind of a perpetual game of optimization, and if you don't start with an optimized plan, I guess you'd say, you're going to get yourself in trouble. So just knowing it costs a little more to do the dedicated lines at first, but it works out for you in the long run. And with that being said, let's go ahead. We got 426,000. We're pushing cars through every now and again. We got our research cooking. This is one of those games you kind of got to sit around for just a little bit. All right, so we've got the parts there. Good accessory specialization. So that gives us fitting lights, fitting horn, fitting seats, windscreen, and dashboard. All right, so we can go for improved efficiency, which is good, but right now we don't need it. Right now we need to start getting some features and other good stuff. Fit dashboard, I believe, falls under the accessories. Yep. So we're going to actually go for, Where'd it go? Safety features. And then we're going to start putting airbags and all that other good jazz in our stuff. So we're researching that. So we can open the accessories by clicking the little plus button. Kind of got to intelligently plan our stuff out here. And we're probably going to spend a lot more money than we need to. But it's okay because this is strictly a, hey, how do we do this? I don't know what I'm doing. Teach me. Pony hair. Teach me the way. And let me know in the comments if this is deafening for you. Because, oh my god, it's deafening for me. Alright, so we're going to drag that up to there. Drag that up to there. And put you... screw it. Why not? Cool. No wrap to stockpile, so we've actually got to take our conveyors. And we want this same conveyor that supplies all the accessory parts here to supply accessory parts here. Here. Oh, that's 10,000. It's 10,000 any way we go about it. Oh man, that's so expensive. All right, no, screw it. The money in this is a little silly, but it's alpha, and it is what it is. Now, the cars will go to the first available station, being as the options will get put on. We're working on options right now. The options will get put on faster than Fit Engine can finish its job. Let's buy that upgrade. They'll always go up here to Fit Lights until we kind of catch up. So we're eating the cost of this side running. And let's see here. Driver airbag. Let's research driver airbag. So we're kind of eating the cost of these two sections to run, and I'm okay with that. Strictly for the fact that this is a demonstration, it's a tutorial. It's, you know, we're not here to show you the end game solution, how you do it best. You know, in a perfect world, you'd go ahead and trash this stuff or cut the route off to it, so that way you're putting out the best high cost. Once this car clears here, oh wait, we don't have any options yet. So wait till we get an option unlocked, and we will see what goes on with that. Alright, and our driver airbag research is complete, so we can choose our next research project, which I'm going to pick another thing along the same vein as those accessories and hit convenience features, because inside of convenience features, we can throw automatic windscreen wipers, we can throw powered seats, a whole bunch of stuff, and a glaring hole just occurred to me. And that is, there is no fit electronics between our fit dashboard and our export. Let us correct that really quick. So we did get the upgrade, so we go into the dashboard. Let's buy that driver airbag. Now we can actually go into our car pricing once our car actually gets through the upgrade and gets the driver airbag installed. And we should get a new pricing window. So this gives you pricing for individual objects. If you go down to driver airbag, we can throw a premium on that alone. Now, when it comes down to it and your basic car value drops, you're pretty much going to drop that down so you're getting just above what you're spending on the car. And I've found the best way to make a profit is to get your premium off of all the little gadgets and bells and whistles and all that good jazz. Now, if we come back here to the paint area, you see we start slowing down in the paint area. We got a car sitting. That's not good. That means our efficiency has dropped. But does it mean we need another paint booth? It does not. Because even if we get 2 out every 34 minutes, the fit engine cannot keep up with that. So you kind of got to meter. All right, so we got the convenience features unlocked. Let's go ahead and get our... What do we want to do? What do we want to do? We want to do power seats, electric windows, satellite navigation? I don't know. I think we're going to do powered seats. Let's do powered seats. So as we start throwing these things on there, life starts looking good. The big thing, what we want, is cars to either go and get the high-end upgrades over on this lane or go through the general production side over here. And to do that, we've got to get our production value up. to get our production volume up, guess what? We've just got to sell more cars. This isn't the best start in the world. I'm sure there's way more efficient starts out there. I'm 100% sure of it. But this is the best I can do. I'm not so good at what I do. We're not getting a backup at the fit engine. So really, for us to get a backup up here, we have to invest all the value of these three items, which is like 300,000. For a fit body, it's 174. Paint is 50, so you're looking at 220, and fit engine, another 134. So that's like a 350,000. Thousands monies to upgrade this line, not counting supply and all their good jazz, which actually, for the sake of this tutorial and kind of get you started, I'm just going to show you the function of taking a loan out. So you have the overview tab, the income tag, expenses, prices, market value, and loans. And we're actually, for the sake of this, because we're just going to burn and kill this after this episode, we're going to take all the loans. Take all the loans. Take every loan, and we're going to go bankrupt very shortly. So the reason we're doing this is to show you, I guess you say, the differences in production. So if we throw another fit body here, we throw another paint, and we throw another, oh my god, my ears are hurting, fit engine, okay? We've got to get the conveyors up, and this, you see now, is why we line the conveyors up like we did, because it works out and stuff. Now we've got to get you here, you back down to here, no, you back down to here, you here, you here, no, you go here, and you go here, and you go here. Now, guys, in theory, and then upgrade these with the robots, this, in theory, would double our production. But it kind of doesn't, because you invested all of that money, and you guys saw our financial deltas before. So you'll see that even though we're pumping out twice as many cars, we're not exactly making twice as much money. That being said, it is almost better in a lot of times. Get your production line up and going, be a little slow. And I don't know, maybe I'll make a fool of myself and this will actually work out. There's no telling at this point. Because nothing is going through the general production area, which in theory, hey, you kill it and just get rid of it and be done with it. Alright, so we got the power seats. Let's see what else we can do. In-car music, let's do that. So let's upgrade the seat section to have the powered seats. Extra robots too. Why not? Why not? We're just spending money. Because if you look at our finances right now, it's abysmal. Abysmal. Alright, so new car came out with power seats, driver airbag. We've got the premium set up 25%. We could probably go up 35%. And the thing you're looking for on this is in the top left corner where the three cars are stacked. If you start getting cars stacked up more than, 3, 4, 5, you got to start dropping premiums and make them more affordable. If people are paying it, let them pay it. And the game does meter that off as time goes on. So, I mean, a strong start is kind of nice, but if you get used to those big premiums with all of your good options, you don't really get to work the prices as much before your stuff goes under. Because, again, I've noticed dropping the premium on the body of the car itself here on basic car, reduce the premium on the car, keep the premium up on all the little options has gotten me the best. Because again, later in the game, his vehicle basic body is going to go down. And we've got a car going through general. And you'll look at the value of it isn't going to go above 16,000. Whereas this bad boy is already at 16,375. The options add up. And be able to put things out on your production line that aren't just the high-end models, I think increases your availability. I don't know how the game makes decisions and does things. So we got the research entertainment. We're going to take the in-car music and research it. Now, again, if a car is getting power steering and all that, it's going to get the in-car music. if it does not go through this line up here to the right, it will not get the in-car music. So that's kind of how I run my early game. I'm going to throw a cut in here, and I'm actually going to load up my other game with my not very efficient but well-running factory. So standby one. Alright, and we're back to kind of a not too terribly efficient but high money yield factory. I may have actually loaded this in a very bad spot. But you see, we've extended our fit bodies up. We've got kind of a network of conveyors so that way cars can go where they need to go to fit the gaps. We have the paint processes broken out. So if you look at the paint here, it's got 4 tasks involved with one main bar. Yeah, it's paint finish right now, and paint finish for this one is here. So it busts it out, makes it a little more efficient, moves it into the engine fitting. You notice this car here, this blue car, is going into this fit engine, which this fit engine has no upgrades other than, hey, I have robots. Whereas you come down here into where this blue car is going, it can get, let's look at the upgrades here. It can get interlock brakes somewhere. Let's see where the tire pressure sensor, spare wheel. Here should be tire pressure sensor. Yeah. Interlock brakes here. So that's how you apply. All right, so we have a new option hitting, and this goes right into my pricing. So my premium is down $5,600 because the actual body of the car is only worth like $9,000, maybe 7 at this point. So I'm getting all of my premiums off of the options. So we have a new option of the tire pressure sensors, and we're going to increase that to 10%, and that's how we're going to make our money. Before the game interrupted me very, very rudely, was going to go and look at something. This up here, we can talk about this in a moment. That is internal production. Long story short, it can get all of these options. The car can get absolutely all of these options here and still go through no accessories, no electronics, because this has no upgrades. Or it can get none of this all through here and still go through and get, you know, this thing's got like auto headlights and not the menu I wanted. That's a research thing, by the way. Yeah, power seats, leather interior. Oh, heated seats. We want heated seats. Heaty seaties are good. So this is kind of a mid-game, mostly sustains itself factory. So let's not get too wrapped up in how you got there, because everybody's going to be different. And I promise this is not the most efficient way to go about it. I promise you that. With that being said, we're going to roll back to our original game, so that way you can kind of see why we're going where we're going, and we'll check it out from there. And we're back to our original factory. This is kind of where it all starts, and you can kind of see the same layout rolling here that we had in the other one. So this is why I'm pointing you down the road that I'm pointing you down. And I mean, by all means, if you guys have a better idea of efficiency or you played the game before, let me know. I'm going to wrap up my first installment of Production Line here. And it was great showing you guys this game. It's got a lot of potential. I really, really like it. And I hope to do a lot more of this. If you guys want to see more, let me know. Do me a favor. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. And until next time, Pony here with Grogan Games, signing out.